Everything is energy, and we are energetic beings. We have 7 chakras in our body, an eighth one for our aura. We have 10 bodies in Kundalini Yoga, and we have 72,000 nadis. You might be like, what in the hell are nadis, Yarrow? They are energy centers in our body that create energetic channels, and they can get clogged. And then that creates contraction and resistance in us. And they get clogged through trauma, through protective defenses and devices and addictive behaviors and ways that we are protecting our sweet selves. And we are not taught to master energetics. We are taught to use our brains, and our brains are tiny compared to the energetic capacity of our being. And unless you decide to master your energetics, you will be perpetually controlled by the protective defenses of your brain and of your nervous system. Because when you get into your body and you start to master your energetics, everything transforms. Look at that cute little kitten back there. Venus Starlight is her name. Welcome to Yarrow K Way of Healing, Expanding, Spiritually Transforming, and Mastering Energetics. I am your host, Yarrow K, clinically trained therapist, leadership mentor, nervous system genius, spiritual mentor, and all around energetic sorceress. I have been a yoga teacher for over 20 years, yoga and meditation teacher for over 20 years. I have my master's in counseling and depth psychology. I was trained with Dr. Gabor Mate in his compassionate inquiry method around how to heal trauma. And I have been on this journey of spiritual transformation since I was 19 and I downloaded enlightenment on the dance floor of a rave. Holding enlightenment and experiencing enlightenment are very different things. I dedicated myself to my yoga practices. So, everything I'm speaking of, from your chakras to your Kundalini yoga bodies to your nadis, they are yogic philosophy. Whatever you believe, you are an energetic being. What you emit into the world, the frequency you emit into the world, is what you attract. So just sit with that for a moment. Like, no matter what philosophy you believe, if you're running around through the world frenetic and obsessing and grasping and shopping and uh, I love shopping, but like, addictive shopping or binging TV or scrolling on your phone obsessively or going down rabbit holes of conspiracy theories or getting lost in the shuffle of your friends at all the time, like thinking you always need to say yes, going into a people pleasing response, a fun response, if you're constantly fighting the world, if you're in resistance, what do you think you're creating as an energetic being? I just sit with it for a second. You might be annoyed with me. You might be like, I'm gonna turn this bitch off. I don't want to listen to this. Really sit with that. How are you reacting to the world? Who are you being in the world? What is your energetic vibration emitting? What are the defenses, the protectors? Like, what is the veil through which you experience the world? And then how is that being reflected back to you? Because here's the thing about us being energetic beings. We are a mirror for what is happening in our reality. So your 3D reality is the mirror for what's happening unconsciously. And something I posted on Threads last night was, we know, quote unquote, that 98% of what we do is unconscious, but yet people still want to pretend they know what they're doing. Like, please make it make sense. We need a mirror. We need someone to be like, hey, this thing you're doing? It's out of alignment with what you say. So, like, people will also say actions speak louder than words. They don't necessarily. You know what speaks louder than everything? Energy. You could have the most devoted partner in the world, and they show up every single day of their life, and they do all the right things. But one day, 40 years in, they're like, peace out, I'm gone. I was never fully in it. And that makes me want to cry thinking about it. But do you know how many people live fake lives? I have a client who just wrote a post about how she lived in a marriage for 9 years. 9 years. They were married for 5, but they were together for 9 years. And she was a Stepford version of herself. I call her that's what I call, I named that archetype her Stepford version, because she was never actually in it. That is how people live life. They live life just kind of floating through, like doing the thing they think they quote unquote should do. I'm a good person because I'm showing up and doing what I should be doing. And then they're bitter and resentful and they're holding it in. And then that energy permeates out into the world around them, whether they realize it or not. You ever been around a person and you're like, I don't know, they're doing all the right things, but it feels a little off? Listen to that. listen to that because you're picking up on the unconscious energetics of what's actually happening. And one of my superpowers is that I can feel and sense your unconscious and put words to it because you can't yet do that. And that is the beauty of the ROK way is it teaches you how to put words to your unconscious. We all need a mirror, myself included. Like I have people in my life, so many beautiful support systems, and I go to them and I say, "Hey, here's the thing that's happening. What's happening unconsciously for me?" Because we all have to be able to suss out what's happening unconsciously for us. And you can do a lot on your own, but eventually you're going to need someone to point out the sneaky subtle things that you're doing. First of all, as I dove into this with everything is energy and started talking about your chakras and your nadis and the 72,000 nadis, which are the energy centers in our body, like channels, centers, they get clogged through our trauma, through unprocessed pain, through unprocessed shame, through unprocessed rage. They get clogged when we are neglectful of what's happening in our being. I was at the nail salon the other day. I really want to say what I want to say without sounding like an asshole. Okay, we're going to get there. I'm going to be able to do it. And I really don't love getting my nails done, but I had a photo shoot and I was like, okay, this is going to look better if I get my nails done. And the reason I don't like to get them done is because we are energetic beings. And when you have these fake things on your nails, you are inhibiting your body's ability to breathe. So if you are someone who gets your nails done, I love you. Please take a break here and there. Like, I understand people get very attached to their nails, but your nails need to breathe. So I do it sometimes. Most of the time, I just let my nails be natural and I let them breathe because they want to breathe. It's healthier for us. Okay, so I decided to get my nails done. And I went to the nail salon Friday morning at like 11:30 and there were a million people there. And most of the women there, you could tell they didn't actually take care of their bodies. But yet they're putting this fake shit on their fingers and their toes. Like that's going to fix the thing. And then externally, they had all this external layer energetically. And it could, some of it was weight, but it's not even about weight because I've seen some heavier people who are like vibrant and like bursting with vitality. This was like a dullness, right? So we are conditioned, put this weird shit on your fingers and your toes, but don't pay attention to the energetic vitality inside of you. Does that make any sense? And here's the thing, paying attention to the energetic vitality inside of you is going to piss you off. It's not going to be comfortable. I didn't have a choice. I was 17 and I was an alcoholic, literally drinking like a bottle of vodka a day. I was chasing I was seeking saving in boys. I was just like, I got a boyfriend when I was 18. We were together for like a year and a half. Thank God. I was sober while I was with him. I studied my ass off, got really good grades, and was in community college at the time because I had dropped out of high school because I was so obsessed with my high school boyfriend that I just like stopped caring about anything else. I mean, literally, this is where I was at. And painting my nails though, painting my nails. Every Sunday, painting my nails, MTV on in the background, 17 magazine in front of me, obsessively painting my nails. I haven't told that story in a long time. Obsessed with my boyfriend in high school. And then we broke up. Thank God he broke up with me, actually. And when he broke up with me, I was destroyed. And I went a little crazy. I started drinking, and I had a 0.06 GPA, and all of my teachers sat down with my mom and they were like, we don't know what to do with her. It's like making me teary. She's a joy when she comes to class, but she refuses to come to class and she refuses to do anything. And so my mom took me home and looked at me and she said, look, you have two choices. They have said you basically would have to do like after school program and like summer school for the next 2 years. I was a junior. She was like, or you can leave and you can go to community college. And I chose that. So community college went really well. I did super well in school. And then when my boyfriend and I broke up, which I broke up with him, and I went crazy again because I didn't have that anchor. He was like my anchor. And he had taught me how to study. I had super high GPA because I was a kind of obsessive student. And I got into a school in San Francisco. I grew up in Northern California, Humboldt County, so it was tiny here, and I just wanted to get out. I wanted to be where the fashion was, where the stimulation was. Like I was dying to get out. And I got into the University of San Francisco, and my first weekend there, and I was like at the time drinking like a bottle of vodka a day, like seeking saving boys. My first weekend there, I got invited to my very first ever rave. downloaded enlightenment on the dance floor of that rave, never went back. I did a full 180. It was like this immediate connection of everything is connected, connection is everything, and it all starts with connection to you. Now, to hold that at 19 years old was a lot, and that's been a journey, but we're not going to dive into all of the facets of that. However, it was beautiful. I started throwing raves. That was my job while I was in college. And then afterwards, the rave scene started to lose its luster, which also left me with this identity crisis. So I started practicing Bikram yoga, and I fell in love and I dove into the yoga world because I needed to transform in my body. Like I knew, even at that young of an age, it all lives in my body. The issues are in the tissues. There was this contraction, there was like emotion, it was correlated to different body parts. My first year practicing, I think I cried every single day. Like there was so much happening for me in that yoga room. I would get really turned on, like sexually, like really turned on. There were like, it was like energy was moving through me. I devoted myself to that practice. I devoted myself to meditating. I worked in restaurants. I wrote novels. I was devoted to spiritually transforming for over 20 years. And then I went and got my master's in counseling and depth psychology. And I have taken all of it and turned it into the Yaroke way. So, a lot of what I do is working with your subtle energetics. That is what the nadis are. They are the subtle energetics in your body. And part of that is our unconscious. And so I help you put words to your unconscious so that you can recognize where you are sabotaging yourself, where you're blocking yourself, where you're telling the same stories, but you don't realize it because they're showing up in different ways and they're protective. This is what we do in my world. And we are not trained how to master our energetics in this way because we're so much easier to be controlled when we're just, numbing out on our phones, numbing out on TV, like getting our nails done, but not taking care of our energetic body. What happens when you take care of your energetic body is you tap into your psychic powers and then you're not controllable anymore. And this isn't conspiracy theory, this is facts. Like, if everyone became conscious to their unconscious and they transmuted all of the raw, shameful, darker parts of themselves and they embodied unconditional love, we would not be fighting in the world. The whole purpose of our life is to evolve into a higher state of consciousness, which is unconditional love, bliss, enlightenment, joy. And when you're functioning through a fear, anxiety, anger, hypervigilance, protective way of being, you're in these lower states of consciousness, right? You could look up David Hawking's map of consciousness and he's going to take you through those states. Now, I don't believe that it's like you climb the ladder and there you stay. I think that we are all things. We will have shame come up. We will have pain come up. We will have rage come up. Can you relate to it from a conscious place? No, you can't if you're not tending to your energetic body. If you're just tending to the veneer of what you look like, but you're not tending to the internal subtle energetics of your body, you're not going to master the consciousness. And we're not taught this. We're not trained how to do this. And then we're running around emotionally addicted, in chaos, in fear, getting diagnosed, taking pharmaceuticals that are just numbing us out and disconnecting us from source, from the divine, from the earth, from our being, from the actual unlimited power that lives within us. And power is not what we've been taught that it is. Power is not greed, it's not control, it's not force. Power is this presence that you feel internally, that when you can hold it, it transforms worlds. And it's connected to love. It's connected to unconditional love. And when you work with the energy centers in your body through doing energetic mastery, through breathwork practices, meditation practices, chanting practices, really yogic practices, like really training and attuning the body, taking care of the body, exercise, dance, various different, like drumming is so powerful for that. And you pair that with becoming actually conscious and then showing up as the person of you who you know you are at your core, right? Like anchoring to the purity of who you are. When you combine all of that together, you embody what I call your unique energetic vibration. That is you. And it's not about perfection because we are meant to be on a journey. And being on a journey is going to ask us to be in the unknown because you might not know your next step. But if you are energetically attuning, if you are mastering your energetics, you will trust the clarity that comes with each step you take, that it is helping to get you to the your level. I'm stuttering over my words right now because there is no destination. There literally is only the journey. So that journey is, it's like a spiral up. Sometimes you'll spiral down, sometimes, and then you'll spiral back up. And it is also a circle like the Ouroboros, right? And so when you're working with the energy centers in your body and the ones that extend outside of you, when you're working with all of them, right? All of the subtle energetics in your body, in your being, in your breath, you are bringing your stories and your thoughts and your beliefs and all the bullshit forward. You become a clear channel. And I just filmed the meditation and the chanting practices for my free 5-day program, The Diamond. And in The Diamond, we're working on becoming the diamond, that clarity. And when there's clarity, there are no thoughts, no beliefs, no conditioning. It's just pure clarity. And so few people actually get to that place because we have so many programs and thoughts and ideas running through us at all times. And the ability to bring them into consciousness, to connect and anchor to our hearts, to feel safe to just be present without trying to move or fix or change or run away, to anchor and stay to presence and just allow your heart to expand until you have full chills and you feel effervescent joy through your whole being, and you might get teary. Like, I want you to feel that every single day because it's possible. In fact, it's not only possible, it's inevitable when you do the work to master your energetics. And this is what we do in my world. I have a free experience that starts today on April 13th, 2026. If you're watching this then, send me a DM on Instagram to sign up for it. It's 5 days on Telegram. I have my program, The Portal, which is a 6 or 12-month group mentorship program. I also have one spot left in my higher level container, The Composer, which is 8 weeks. It's designed to be a sacred chrysalis that puts you into the pressure to birth you into being the composer of your life so you create a life filled with pleasure and joy and internal freedom. When we train ourselves in this way, to master our energetics and master ourselves and become truly conscious. Not just thinking we're conscious, not some like spiritual bullshit that's actually not bringing us into consciousness, but consciousness around our unconscious shit, all the things we believe, all the things we're holding on to, all the layers, and we slough them off and we get to the purity of who you are as a being, and you start to take action from that place, your life literally feels like magic. So send me a DM on Instagram if any of this resonates, or you can comment below. Let me know if you have questions, thoughts, things, any videos you want me to talk further about. Little Venus Starlight is sending all of her love. For those watching the YouTube video, for those listening on the podcast, go on to the YouTube video if you want to check out Little Venus Starlight because she's just so cute. And I love you all so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you soon.